What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Once again, it's the Militant One here, Coach Hussein with Fight Camp Eternal. And this is going to be part 2 of what I would like to call the footwork series. Now, last week, we went over basic footwork drills. So let's just get right into it. I started off in my stance to make sure my stance is correct. Okay. Feet, shoulder to shoulder. And then what I would do is we're going to start off to our right. Okay. So here's the drill, standard drill. We're going to go in 4 directions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so once again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the first. So you have 1 going to your right, 2 going to your left, 3 is forward, 4 is backward. So now I'm going to present to you 4 more steps. So if you notice, the first 4 steps went on a plus angle, okay? I know that's not exactly a thing, but you basically, if you had to draw a map, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to go through 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now we're forming an X now. So for this drill, if you are in, I'm going to show you both sides, not only from orthodox but from southpaw. We're going to start with orthodox first. So when I'm in orthodox, when I go to 5 and 6, I'm going to switch to southpaw. So from this drill now, I go to 5 here, then I come back, I go to 6 here. When I go to 7, I switch back to orthodox. 7, and now 8. Okay, so to show you again, So when I show you again, in orthodox, now we go from 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 5 here, 6. Now when I go to 7 and 8, I switch back. 7 and 8. Now when you're in southpaw doing this drill, it's the same thing. So we're going to start from southpaw now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when we go through 5, 6, 7, and 8, in southpaw, you don't switch until you go to 7 and 8. So for example, 5, 6, 7, now I switch to orthodox. 7, 8. Now, when I come back to my original starting point from orthodox, I switch back to southpaw. Here. Okay? So once again, back in orthodox, I'm going to show you the drill again for both stances. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'll switch to southpaw. Same directions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? So how this works is when you go through 5, 6, 7, and 8, so imagine you have an opponent in front of you. So we're going to do this if we're in orthodox. So imagine your opponent, if he's throwing a jab, okay? If they're throwing a jab, I can slip here, okay? Now, what I can do is, off the slip, I can add a deflection when I go to 5 and then bring the rear foot forward. So if they throw their jab, or if they're in southpaw and they throw their cross, I go to a slip and a deflect at the same time. So the movement is 1, and notice now I'm on their outside. Okay, so now they have to make that adjustment. Okay. So if I decide to come back here, if I'm retreating, then I can bring this back foot here, and then I can go to 6. Okay, so I can pull here, and I can switch my stance. Okay, if I'm in southpaw, it's just real simple. Okay, so if I'm in southpaw, I just go straight in off the deflection here, and if I can, and I just go back on the same angle, on the same line from 6. Okay, if I'm in orthodox, if they decide to throw their cross, I can just slip and go right on this line right here. Now, once again, I'm on the outside of them. Okay, and I can also go back this way if I decide to retreat. I can pull. You see how I add the pull in when I go to 8? It's the same thing. Now, when I'm in southpaw, it's different. Okay, so if I'm in southpaw and they decide to throw their cross, if they're unorthodox, I can just bring this foot here, go right on that angle. Boom. Okay, same position. I'm on the outside of them. I have the better angle. Okay, so if they decide to throw their cross here, I slip here. If I slip right here, then I'm forcing them to make the adjustment. I have a lot of real estate right here in their body. Boom. You see, I can dig right in the rib with the cross or get them in the liver. So then I can come back. Okay. Now, if I'm in southpaw right here, okay, if I decide to go this way, it's just a simple step back. I bring this foot back here. It's not necessarily a tool you can have to use, because if that's the case, I can just go straight back. Okay. But if I'm in southpaw, I can also go to 6 here. Okay. So it's just a matter of the situation you're using. You don't necessarily have to use every single one of these steps in real-time combat, but you can use them to your advantage based on your stance. Okay. So once again, to end the video, starting with southpaw, once again, here's your drill. Here's the 8 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if I'm in southpaw, it's the same thing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Drill these steps over and over. Make sure you get the angles correctly. Make sure in particular, when you're going through 5, 6, 7, and 8, if you're a southpaw, when you come back to this starting position from 6, when you go into 7, you bring the rear foot forward and you go back into your stance. Okay. When you're in southpaw, when you're going into 7, excuse me. Actually, I did it wrong. I apologize. So, no, I actually did it right the first time. So when you're in 5, we're gonna go through 5 through 6. You come back here after 6. When you're going into southpaw, bring the rear foot forward and step on that angle right here. Where you're coming from southpaw, okay, and you're going in this direction here, come back. Then when you come from 8, you just bring the rear foot forward as you plan with the lead foot here, right here. If you ever did Wing Chun, it's kind of like that circle step. You bring the rear foot forward. I'm here, right here. That's what it's that's what it looks like. But instead of coming here, I come back here, back into my stance. Okay. Thank you for watching the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.